If it sounds like Ginger Root's music was recorded in a bedroom, their videos directed and cut by one sleep-deprived workaholic, and their band assembled from a crew of high school music nerds, it's because it is. If you're new here, hi diva! Welcome to Microdose, the channel for lore and reviews of artists with under 1 million listeners on Spotify. Today, I'm shining the spotlight on Ginger Root, the SoCal-turned-global sensation bringing aggressive elevator soul to the masses. What started as film student Cameron Liu's side project has quietly evolved into one of indie pop's latest success stories, racking up millions of views on YouTube, selling out shows in Japan, and booking a slot at Coachella. In this video, I'll walk you through the nearly decade-long story of Ginger Root's rise, showing how one artist's creative spirit, strong work ethic, and knack for collaboration enabled him to build an indie empire. Together, we'll review the defining songs and videos of each era, and of course, I'll be sprinkling in my unsolicited opinion along the way. Let's go. Ginger Root is the music project of Cameron Liu, the eldest of two children born to a Chinese-American family in Huntington Beach, California. Growing up, Cameron's parents work long hours, so he and his sister are often cared for by their grandparents. Raised in what he describes as an artistically minded home, 8-year-old Cameron steals his dad's camcorder to film Lego and Hot Wheels. At age 10, Cameron's parents gift him a cheap guitar, and after completing the instructional DVD, he starts lessons. At 13, Cameron is gifted a Handycam and opens a YouTube channel to pursue his dreams of becoming a vlogger. Many of Cameron's early videos are no longer accessible, but his passion for filmmaking and music is still apparent from what remains. This 2009 animation of a paper laptop opening to reveal a clip of Cameron jamming on guitar says it all. When high school rolls around, Cameron naturally chooses the music and media program at Huntington Beach Academy for the Performing Arts. He doesn't know it then, but he's about to meet several people that will shape his future in unexpected ways. Michael Simmons is a teacher who forms a band named Yorktown Lads with Cameron and another student, Addison Love. Christopher Sock is Cameron's stats teacher who introduces him to Kraftwerk, leading Cameron to discover the pioneering Japanese electropop group Yellow Magic Orchestra. David Guttell is an assistant teacher at the after-school TV program who years later co-directs Ginger Root MVs and operates their live camera on tour. Finally, Anthony Grisham, Matt Carney, and Dylan Hovis are schoolmates who become part of Ginger Root's touring band. Cameron likens the music program at Huntington Beach High to School of Rock, providing him with real-life experience in performance and collaboration. By senior year, Cameron becomes something of a local it boy, profiled in 2 separate newspapers for winning back-to-back district film fests. A judge notes that Cameron approaches his work with the maturity and the trained eye of someone 3 times his age, while Michael Simmons predicts that Cameron will make a name for himself. In 2014, Cameron begins film school at Chapman University to study editing. Over time, he burns out from the stress and academification of his passion and turns to music as refuge. In 2015, he releases a few singles and an album titled Whelp under his own name, performing a release show to mark the occasion. That same year, he forms a band called Vanstock with Sophia Rucker and Nick Torres. They share a cover of Wolfpack's Christmas in LA in December, followed by an EP in July 2016. During his time in Vanstock, Cameron writes some songs that don't fit the band and establishes Ginger Root as a home for them. In summer 2016, he packs his car with gear and drives to his aunt and uncle's house in Kentfield to record. On December 27th, he uploads the music video for Brooklyn to his YouTube channel, announcing an album release for New Year's Day. On January 1st, 2017, Ginger Root's debut album Spotlight People drops on Bandcamp. Let's dive into Brooklyn, the 7th track on Spotlight People and Ginger Root's first ever music video. On Brooklyn, Ginger Root reluctantly supports his lover's dream of moving to New York while feeling wounded on the inside. It's a story with emotional potential, but the lyrics are too restrained to make an impact. Compared to the rest of the album, Brooklyn lacks the upbeat shimmer of In My Dreams, the laid-back groove of Beleza, and the introspective melancholy of Lil Window. Although I'm not a big fan of Brooklyn, it's clearly an important song to Cameron since it's the only song on Spotlight People that got a video and where Cameron's YouTube icon comes from. He shot the video in Tokyo, armed with just a camera, a selfie stick, and a dream. The video flips between 2 types of shots, long shots of Cameron dancing on loop, and selfie shots of Cameron wandering the city. There's a lot to appreciate. We get tons of stunning and technically impressive shots, and filming a song about Brooklyn in Tokyo is so clever. But because Cameron doesn't engage with his environment in a meaningful way, the video ends up feeling kind of dull. He's in Tokyo, one of the most vibrant cities in the world, but he doesn't interact with Tokyo. Now, you might think I'm being too critical here, but I point this out to show where Cameron started so you can better appreciate how far he's come. Brooklyn is not bad at all for a zero-budget, one-person project, and soon we'll see just how much more Cameron can do with greater resources at his disposal. Ginger Root's release show for Spotlight People takes place in a Signal Hill warehouse with tickets going for just $3. By the end of release month, the album racks up 1,000 streams on Bandcamp, attracting the attention of blogs and local radio stations. Ginger Root starts playing more live shows around the area, joined by schoolmates Matt and Anthony on drums and bass. Still a junior in college, Cameron realizes that even if he can't make music in class, nothing's stopping him from making music between class, in his car, no less. Demonstrating truly unparalleled time management skills, he spends his 4-hour breaks on Mondays recording, filming, mixing, mastering, and editing a cover from scratch, sometimes bringing friends into his makeshift studio. He dubs this project Toaster Music, named after his 2004 Honda Element, affectionately nicknamed Toaster. In May 2017, Cameron releases Toaster Music Volume 1. Let's take a listen to 1, 2, 3, 4, Cameron's take on the iconic track by one of his musical heroes, Feist.
1, 2, 3, 4, tell me that you love me more.
Ginger Root has this uncanny ability to reimagine songs from a fresh and completely unexpected perspective, seamlessly translating them into his own sonic language. His Toaster Music cover of 1, 2, 3, 4 is the perfect example. Where Feist's original is a sprightly celebration of reignited childhood dreams, Ginger Root's rendition is a melancholic reflection on bygone youth. The optimism that propels the original is still there, but Ginger Root's use of lo-fi keyboards and mics makes the song feel that much more intimate and honest. This isn't a track that's been perfected to death by a team of professionals, it's one that's been crafted with the tools and skills a single college student had access to in the moment. The covers of Toaster Music may not be the most intricate or refined, but you can't deny that they're full of heart and humanity. Following the release of Toaster Music Volume 1, Ginger Root gets his first of many radio station features and performs for SoCal's Kilson Street. Throughout June and July, the band continues gigging, which you can safely assume they're always doing even when I don't explicitly mention it. In September, Ginger Root teases Two Step, his first single to be released under Acrophase Records. The connection to Acrophase comes through Cameron's kindergarten bestie Blake, stage name Blake the Man 1000, an Acrophase artist who reconnected with Cameron after they both started making music. At the time, Acrophase was a new label started up by Blake's friend Dan and his friend George, then college students who brought Cameron on board after Blake reposted a video from Toaster Music. Two Step drops on October 8th, 2017, and Acrophase shoots their shot to get the song on a Spotify playlist. Miraculously, their pitch is accepted and Two Step lands on Spotify's Fresh Finds for 1 week. Hoping to keep the momentum going, Cameron teams up with Chapman classmate Talila DeCastro to create a music video for Two Step. The whimsical video, blending low-res handheld footage with high-res professional shots, stars the Ginger Root Band, David Gittell, and fellow Huntington Beach High alums Taylor Nicholson and Michael Keon. At the end of 2017, Ginger Root uploads his first year in review, a tradition he continues annually. In February 2018, Ginger Root shares a second single, Call It Home, and gets interviewed by OC Weekly. At the end of March, Ginger Root announces his sophomore album Mahjong Room alongside a Kickstarter aiming to raise $2,800 to press the album to vinyl. In true Ginger Root form, he creates a video with his grandparents to promote the fundraiser. The campaign meets its goal, Ginger Root drops their third single Genie, Cameron graduates college, and Call It Home goes viral on Reddit. 2 more singles follow, Having Fun, which gets a write-up in line of Best Fit, and Mahjong Room, accompanied by a video this time DP'd by Chapman alum Shawnee Bryan. On June 26, 2018, Mahjong Room is released to the world. Let's sink our teeth into Two Step, the first single from Mahjong Room and Ginger Root's first full production MV. Two Step is is a major step forward in Ginger Root's sound. The instrumentation is crisper, Cameron's vocals are more expressive, and the music is more dynamic. In a rare display of vulnerability, Cameron dials back the vocal processing and shows us how it feels to get high off the sweet, sweet pain of heartbreak. I should accelerate, he sings, but why am I 2 steps from your home? The music video for Two Step follows a couple on a televised house hunt, led by a perpetually frazzled realtor who shows them homes in which Ginger Root is inexplicably performing. Cameron sings his heart out in the hallway, the shower, and the kitchen. Situating the band in the homes being toured is genius. It's as though Ginger Root reflects the soul of each space, begging to be chosen and lived in. This desperate longing perfectly mirrors Two Step, a song aching for a love just out of reach. My favorite fact about the music video is that everyone in it, none of them professional actors, knew and worked with one another in high school. Two Step's video is proof that you don't need a big team or budget to create something that really hits. Although Mahjong Room receives a decent amount of attention from niche blogs and radio, even getting a feature on Bandcamp's homepage, mainstream press is yet to catch on. Luckily, international media starts to take notice, with a pre-release shout-out in Billboard Japan and the hilarious nickname The Petit Prince de Chillwave from a random French Facebook page. At some point, Ginger Root's bassist Anthony leaves the band and is replaced by another Huntington Beach High alum, Dylan Hovis. In September, Ginger Root lands his first long-form profile in the Luna Collective, where he reveals the origin of the project's name, shares his musical influences, and gives thanks to Spotify. In the rest of 2018, Ginger Root shares their 4th Mahjong Room music video for Ohio, opens for Khruangbin across Europe and the US, and uploads their annual year in review. In early 2019, the band returns to Europe to open for Khruangbin. In Brussels, their car is broken into, prompting Cameron to create a funny yet heartbreaking fake news segment recounting their experience.
We go live to the scene with some words from the band.
Brussels is not my favorite right now.
I just wanted to get some coffee, but...
Man, Brussels? I'm cold.
Back in the States, Ginger Root headlines the Echo in LA in February and plays an official South by Southwest showcase in March. In spring, they opened for Duran Jones before launching their first headlining tour in June. To promote these shows, Cameron creates I'm Glad I Went, a series of fake testimonials where narrators recount being dragged to a Ginger Root show, but ultimately having a satisfactory experience.
I got the newspaper before her or Uncle Benny did. First page, fate would have it, Ginger Root's playing the last night I'm in town. Old Smith Bar, I run down, catch the whole set, caught the opener set too. Needless to say, I'm glad I went.
In May, Ginger Root announces their upcoming single Weather, set to release on vinyl along with a music video. Though Weather isn't part of any album, it's one of my all-time favorite Ginger Root songs, and I'm so excited to share it with you. Weather marks a turning point in Ginger Root's career where he steps into his role as an entertainer on top of being a musician. While the lyrics of Weather are about accepting life's ups and downs, its sound bursts with theatrical flair and charm. Complete with glissandos, hand claps, and a full-on keyboard solo, Weather demonstrates just how brightly Ginger Root shines when he embraces the pop aspect of bedroom pop. The music video for Weather may not be flashy or extravagant, but it's really stuck with me like no other. The first few shots welcome us to the Liu family home, instantly drawing us into its cozy, lived-in warmth. You start feeling like you're inside Cameron's real-life living room, partially because Cameron's actual grandparents and sister are there. They turn on the TV, where they're greeted by newscaster Jeff and weather announcer Bob. Grandpa is unimpressed. The boy takes the remote, switching to the cooking channel and then the game show, which the kids seem to enjoy. As they cycle through different channels, they keep seeing Cameron on screen, inhabiting various roles and professions. Slowly but surely, Cameron's grandparents break into smiles. During the song's bridge, they switch to the Ginger Root channel, where the band performs on a delightfully lo-fi cardboard stage. By then, the whole family is dancing. The genius of Weather's music video lies in how it builds an emotional arc without relying on a heavy-handed plot. At first, Cameron's family isn't moved by his on-screen performances, but as they witness his joy, his passion, and the sincerity behind his craft, they start to get it. By connecting with Cameron the performer, they connect with Cameron, their goofy grandson/brother. As a fellow Asian American, the video for Weather has my heart in a chokehold and makes me truly proud to stan Ginger Root. In September 2018, Ginger Root partners with P-Vine to release the Japanese deluxe edition of Mahjong Room, demonstrating increasing popularity in Japan. That same month, the band opens for Pum Viparit on the West Coast, followed by a November run with Last Dinosaurs on the East Coast. Hilariously, Cameron handles the entire Last Dinosaurs tour solo, while Matt and Dylan stay behind for school. Before the year ends, Ginger Root drops the Groovylicious single Before, plays the final LA show, and shares their 2019 retrospective. 2020 kicks off with a headlining tour scheduled for March and a gig at South by Southwest that ends up being cancelled due to the pandemic. Luckily, Ginger Root sneaks in one last music video before lockdown, Karaoke, a riff on office satires DP'd by Shawnee Bryan and featured in The Fader. Like other artists, Ginger Root performs the first of several live streams with proceeds going to COVID relief. In April, Cameron shares that Ginger Root's third album, Rikki, will be postponed to fall due to COVID, but brings back toaster music and presses the songs to vinyl. In June, he drops the music video for Out of State, an homage to the kung fu films of his childhood and to his late paternal grandfather, who competed in ping pong tournaments. In August, the rollout for Rikki begins in earnest with the release of Le Chateau, a song loosely inspired by 60s French music that racks up 50K streams in just 2 weeks. In October, Rikki's last single, Why Try, is released, the album comes out, and the band performs a Halloween livestream and Q&A to celebrate. Let's revisit Karaoke, track 2 on Rikki, and arguably Ginger Root's first plot-driven MV. I've been grooving lately. Karaoke is actually such a sassy song once you get to know its backstory. Cameron was inspired to write the song after reconnecting with an acquaintance who drifts in and out of his life, never remembering anything he says. As a bit of petty performance art, Cameron tricks them into thinking he's really into karaoke, an activity he doesn't care for. This small deception is what fuels the sly, laid-back swagger of karaoke. The music video for Karaoke takes place in an old-school office, where Cameron plays a low-level employee trapped in the corporate grind. He delivers a presentation sharing some grim predictions for the company, but it falls flat with his coworkers and his boss Dylan. Deflated after yet another soul-crushing day, Cameron returns to his car and finds a totally legit VHS tape stuck to the windshield. Hoping to wow his friends and colleagues, Cameron gives the goofy-looking tape a chance. Appearing on screen is none other than perpetually smiling Matt, who breaks down the art of karaoke into 4 simple steps. Find a suitable audience, pick a good song, maintain eye contact, and sing. Totally convinced by Matt's advice, Cameron seizes the mic at Dylan's retirement party. He belts out a song that wins over the room, and Dylan, who promotes him on the spot. Now Cameron's no longer an overlooked office drone, but the office rock star, beloved by coworkers and even catching the eye of the janitor. Karaoke's video is a celebration of music's ability to bring escape and completely transform how others perceive you. At the end of 2020, Cameron shares his annual retrospective, reflecting on a challenging year marked by the pandemic and the passing of his maternal grandfather, who fans have come to know from Ginger Root videos. Compared to Mahjong Room, Rikki ends up flying under the radar. With no tour and little press to promote it, the record doesn't gain much traction. In a 2024 Line of Best Fit profile, Cameron reveals that he hoped Rikki would be his big break, which didn't end up happening. With Rikki, Cameron made a bedroom pop record in line with all the trends at the time, losing his originality in the process and ultimately delivering a somewhat forgettable product. Forced to rethink his strategy, Cameron realizes that if making what he was supposed to make wouldn't get him anywhere, why not make what he really wanted to make? While immersing himself in Japanese language and media during COVID, Cameron becomes enamored with the music of Japan's Showa era, a golden age of sparkling 80s pop. He wants to incorporate this influence into his work, but not in a way that feels shallow or appropriative. As he puts it, I didn't want to be that band that just puts Chinese or Japanese characters on a t-shirt and says, look how sick that looks. Instead, Cameron sets out to create a love letter to 80s Japan for helping him get through COVID, one that pays homage to the Japanese artists and fans who lived through the era. As we know today, this results in Ginger Root's breakout EP City Slicker, announced in May 2021 alongside the music video for Neighbor, its lead single. Loretta, the city pop-inspired song that's about to change everything, arrives a month later with a music video directed by Cameron, AD'd by David Guettel, and DP'd by a new collaborator, Taylor killer leech. Boosted by the YouTube algorithm, Loretta quickly picks up steam and reaches 100k views by early July. In mid-July, Ginger Root drops City Slicker's third single Juban District, a low-key banger carried by Cameron's gruff talk singing and a sexy bass line. On August 20th, 2021, Ginger Root's first EP, City Slicker, is officially released. Let's get right into the timeless classic that changed Ginger Root forever, Loretta. Loretta slaps, but you didn't need me to tell you that. Instead, let's talk about why I think the song went viral. Loretta didn't blow up because it has a cutting-edge, never-been-heard-before sound. Loretta blew up because its retro groove feels instantly familiar and lived in, like a record your parents used to play that still slaps today. Loretta's delightfully nostalgic music video is set up to mimic the look and feel of a retro music show, which they totally nail. As soon as that first note hits, you know you're in for some tastefully groovy, aggressive elevator soul. Cameron, who's decked out in an amazing yellow suit and turtleneck, does his little jig on stage and sings. Inspired by Outkast's Hey Ya video, he also plays drums, keys, guitar, and delivers a bangin' sax solo with appropriately dramatic facial expressions. You can't deny Cameron caught lightning in a bottle with Loretta, and I'm so glad she got the recognition she deserved. As for me, I can't wait to stream this song in the retirement home while reminiscing on simpler times. Hopefully, I'll meet some of you there and we can sing Loretta together. I could talk about City Slicker's commercial achievements till I'm blue in the face, but luckily for you, I'll just share the Cliffs Notes. In September, Loretta reaches 2 million views on YouTube. In October, Ginger Root passes 100k subscribers. In November, Queen of City Pop Maria Takeuchi features Loretta on her radio show. While I do think there's value in talking numbers when discussing an artist's career, in Ginger Root's case, the creative evolution leading up to City Slicker tells a far more interesting story. City Slicker is the first project in which all music videos inhabit the same universe and form part of a larger concept. As Cameron puts it in his official blurb for the EP, what would it sound like if Ginger Root was asked to make the soundtrack to an American adaptation of a fictitious Japanese film from 1981 entitled Machi no Yatsu? You'd get their new EP, City Slicker. What we're witnessing here is the birth of Ginger Root 2.0. While Ginger Root 1.0 was rooted in personal storytelling, Ginger Root 2.0 builds a fictional universe complete with characters, continuity, and a visual identity that ties everything together. It's no coincidence that City Slicker was the first Ginger Root project released to VHS. Sure, part of it was to stay true to the vintage shtick, but another part of it was forefronting the visual storytelling at the core of Ginger Root 2.0. In November 2021, Cameron meets Caro Caro Bonito, a band he loves that also loves him back. In early 2022, Ginger Root starts doing press in Japan with an interview and performance as part of Alpha Music's My Favorite Alpha series. In the spring, Ginger Root opens for Hippocampus on their biggest support tour to date, and later headlines a sold-out show in New York. In June, Ginger Root teases a new era by sharing a fake Japanese news segment announcing an upcoming collaboration with J-pop idol Kimiko Takeuchi, played by real-life singer Amaiwana. Later that month, the Nisemono era officially kicks off with lead single Loneliness. Cameron explains that Nisemono, meaning fake or fraud, explores imposter syndrome and losing your sense of self. As the EP's blurb describes, the year is 1983 and Ginger Root is brought in to write songs for an up-and-coming Japanese idol, Kimiko Takeuchi. Due to the pressures of the spotlight, Kimiko quits and Ginger Root is thrown in as her last-minute replacement. 2 more music videos follow, Holy Hell and Over the Hill, all following the saga of Ginger Root's rise after taking Kimiko's place. On September 9th, 2022, Nisemono is released to the world. Now, let's wind back the tape to Loneliness, the first video in the Nisemono storyline and my favorite song on the EP. Just try to not sing along to Loneliness. You can't. Loneliness is an up-tempo banger with the same ingredients that made Loretta irresistible. High notes, a brisk walking tempo, and a bass line that never quits. The music video for Loneliness, Nisemono's lead single, kicks off the storyline of the EP. As the teasers explain, J-idol Kimiko Takeguchi is about to make her debut on US Late Night with a song produced by Ginger Root. But just before she's scheduled to go on, she quits. Her manager, coping with the news by chain smoking, begs Cameron to perform in her place. Still processing the chaos, he steps onto the stage and wings it. Against all odds, Ginger Root's performance is a hit, launching him into unexpected stardom as Kimiko watches from the sidelines. The brilliance of Loneliness and the Nisemono concept more broadly lies in how Cameron fictionalizes his real-life experience going viral post-Loretta, but adding characters, drama, and wrapping it all up in a kitschy retro aesthetic. If you think about how other artists translate their lives into art, you'll realize just how unique Cameron's approach is. Watching him blend his lifelong passions for music and film into something this playful and cinematic never fails to warm my heart. Riding high off the never-ending momentum of Loretta, Nisemono marks Ginger Root's first project to receive a good amount of coverage from mainstream media. Right after its release, the band embarks on a headlining tour and announces their first ever shows in Japan, which sell out much faster than domestic shows. The tour in Japan is a major milestone for Cameron, who meets his musical hero Haruomi Hosono and makes lasting memories with fans and collaborators. He also performs in Seoul, adds stops in Hong Kong, Singapore, Taiwan, and Thailand, and returns home in June for a show in LA. To wrap up the Nisemono storyline, Cameron drops a finale where he hires Kimiko to star in the pilot of a fictional anime titled Meet You in the Galaxy. The rest of 2023 is packed with more shows, festivals, and even a directorial credit for Japanese band Chai. Unsurprisingly, Cameron's 2023 year in review is absolutely stacked. In January 2024, Ginger Root signs with Ghostly International, a respected NYC-based indie label and affiliate of American indie juggernaut Secretly Group. Ginger Root's next era kicks off in May when Cameron shares the trailer for Meet You in the Galaxy, the movie. A week later, we learn that the movie is meant to be the follow-up of Meet You in the Galaxy, the series, first introduced at the end of Nisemono. The series flops, but Cameron hopes that the movie reboot will do better. His manager at Juban TV isn't a fan of this pitch and tells Cameron he should make Loretta 2 instead, highlighting the huge impact of Loretta 1 and overwhelming fan demand. Cameron declines, so his manager says, "You're fired." This is, of course, where the story of Ginger Root's next album begins. In late May, Ginger Root officially announces Shinbangumi, his first full-length album in over 3 years and his most ambitious music movie project yet. No Problems, the album's lead single, depicts Cameron's post-firing slump and his decision to establish his own company, Ginger Root Productions. Better Than Monday walks us through the nuts and bolts of starting a broadcast agency in a basement. There Was a Time chronicles the creation of Ginger Root Productions' first show, Overdrive Academy, whose limited budget forces Kimiko to play all roles. The pilot ends up doing well, prompting Juban TV's CEO to put out a hit on Cameron. In All Night, Cameron's ex-manager sprints through city streets trying to steal the show's master tape, only to be foiled by our favorite janitor Alton. That brings us to Only You, the last single and the video Cameron's most proud of from Shinbangumi. Only You is Ginger Root's first attempt at creating a bona fide city pop song, and he absolutely slayed. The track is a delicious blend of cool confidence tinged with just the right amount of nostalgia. It's the perfect song to blast at full volume while you cruise down the freeway on a summer night. All the music videos in the Shinbangumi series follow a well-defined plot, except Only You, which isn't about furthering the storyline, but rather exploring a specific brand of anxiety that comes with being a working artist. The video takes place after Ginger Root Productions' debut TV show Overdrive Academy becomes a hit, prompting an ominous call from the CEO of Juban TV. When Cameron picks up the phone, his surroundings morph into a vivid yet terrifying dreamscape. His hands are tied, preventing him from retrieving the tape that holds all his hard work. We soon learn that these surreal visions are a projection of fictional Cameron's psyche, where he's faced with a choice. Accept the CEO's offer to merge with Juban, or stay independent and keep producing Overdrive Academy on his own terms. This is an analogy of real-life Cameron's choice between continuing to make the city pop music that brought him success, or making music that feels true to him even if it's not what fans want. This decision is symbolized by Juban TV's blue and Ginger Root Productions' red. But what if Only You You isn't just about picking between these two options. What if I told you that Only You is actually about Cameron's search for a third thing, his love for creating art? Himiko, the star of Overdrive Academy, represents Cameron's pure, almost childlike passion for music and film. This love for the craft is what made Ginger Root's work resonate with listeners and go viral, but it's also the force that created immense pressure to deliver more hits and the fear of not being good enough. When Kimiko hands Cameron the tape, he takes it, but it's not the tape he's looking for. What Cameron truly desires is to reconnect with the simple joy of making art free from expectations and pressure, just like he did as a kid. That's what Cameron's searching for, and what he's most afraid of losing. In a first for Ginger Root, Only You reveals a more vulnerable side of Cameron, the emotional weight of unexpected success, and the hidden costs of making a viral hit. Alongside the other Shinbangumi videos, it's a reminder that Cameron can move us just as powerfully as he can entertain us. Cameron shares that Shinbangumi is the first record he feels truly comfortable in his identity as Ginger Root and the unveiling of the new person he's become after 4 years of writing, touring, and growing. Backed by Ghostly, Shinbangumi is also the largest scale project Cameron has led to date, combining the efforts of his longtime crew in LA with new collaborators in Japan. In a video shared to social media, Cameron explains that creating what is essentially a music movie was his way of pushing back against the short formification of music. He talks about how, as a fan himself, he cherishes the time he gets to spend with an artist and hopes that Shinbangumi's 23-minute film can provide that same experience of wonder and connection to his fans. Right after the album drops in September, the band kicks off another massive tour spanning the US, Canada, EU, UK, Asia, and Australia. In November 2024, Coachella's lineup drops with none other than Ginger Root, and in January 2025, Ginger Root is announced as a support act for Japanese Breakfast, a band he's long admired. Before I wrap up this video, I want to spend a moment talking about Ginger Root's live show. I first saw them on the Shinbangumi tour, where the stage setup looked like this. You see the band performing in the flesh, but you also see them projected onto screens via a live feed operated by David. Speaking of David, I firmly believe his movement on stage is pure art and a key part of the show's magic. So much of Cameron's music is about calling back to a bygone era, and how do people in the present consume media of the past? By watching grainy clips on a screen. Here, you get the best of both worlds. You're witnessing the band IRL, while also experiencing them like a long-lost VHS tape. And of course, Cameron's stage banter is goofy and hilarious, adding yet another dimension to the unassuming charm of Ginger Root. Why do I love Ginger Root? I love his music the same reason everyone else does. It's got a lived-in charm and never fails to lift my spirits. But what really endears me to Ginger Root is Cameron's unwavering passion for his craft, paired with a scrappy DIY ethos. From day one, he brought together his friends and classmates to make his videos, a practice he continues today even as he achieves more commercial success. As a result, there's a sense of community and authenticity behind Ginger Root's work that no amount of money or fame can replicate. I'm beyond excited to see where Ginger Root goes from here, and I can't wait to hear how his sound evolves. Thank you so much for watching, and as per usual, let me know which other artists under 1 million listeners you want me to review next. Bye, Diva!